sa R2 po. Alam niyo po, Mr. Chair, sometimes po may nababypass din ng mga commanders. Kasi po, ang control is either direct control ng RD or direct control ng R2 or ng mga special units o task force. And sometimes, hindi naman yung territorial police po ang may project nun. Tumatawid po.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that, Colonel Garma. But I think it's a little bit hard for me to accept that statement because you were the chief of police of Cebu. Cebu being a highly urbanized city, usually yung mga regional directors will actually respect, and I'm sure some of the police officers would confirm this with regards to how you supervise, manage the affairs of the PNP in that area. So again, just to
Can I explain, Mr. Chair?
yes, okay, please.
As far as my role po doon, sir, I make sure lang po na ma-investigate in case na may mga ganong incident. Napaprocess ang crime scene, and then kung ayaw po ng biktima na kami mag-imbestiga, ay inaalaw po namin yung NBI to take cognizance. Ganun po yung setup. As to yung pong kung may mga incident like namatay, I never, hindi ako ang hanggang spot report lang po nakakarating sa
sige. Dagdag lang doon sa tanong with the indulgence of Congressman Suarez. Yung sino nagde-determine kung sino magiging provincial director, chief of police, at saka yung mga community precinct commanders? Sino nagde-determine nun? Dito, in the context of the drug war, halimbawa, example natin, si Colonel Patay. No, Colonel Patay, you were previously assigned sa Davao. Tama?
Davao del Norte po, Your Honor.
Davao del Norte.
Mr. Chair.
And then, sinong nag-order na ilipat si Colonel Patay dito sa Quezon City? Would you know kung sino yan? Is that part of the system na merong isa na naglilista? Dito ilalagay si Colonel Patay, dito ilalagay si...
Mr. Chair, kasi nagiging culture po kasi ng PNP po na pag ang RD ay malipat o ang PD, may dinadala pong opisyal. Okay? So, yung iba, pagdala mo yung opisyal, pwede mong ilagay kung saang pwesto na qualified naman po silang ilagay. Pero during that time po, meron din pong sitwasyon na some would volunteer that they
volunteer.
Yeah.
So merong nagbo-volunteer.
Nagbo-volunteer, which is I think naman po is nagagrant kung minsan because they would say that they can deliver.
And what can they deliver? Ano yung bakit ano?
Mga projects po sa area. Sa war on drugs
Be
po.
specific para lang for our education kasi hindi naman namin naintindihan. Yung sinabi mong project, ano yun?
Example po, Mr. Chair, alimbawa lang po, like, mag-regional chief ka, halimbawa po, ng isang unit sa IDG. In the case po of Sir Marcos po.
Si Colonel Marcos?
Yeah. I think, mayroong arrangement
Colonel,
yan.
can you speak louder? Yes.
May arrangement niya na he could deliver mga big fish in the area. Just to give him the opportunity to lead the unit, it's easier. Mga ganun po, yung iba naman po, nakakapagtrabaho, tama naman po yung trabaho, hindi naman po lahat po ay masasabi mong hindi tama po yung ginawa.
Ano bang ibig sabihin nung makaka-deliver? Halimbawa, is Colonel Marcos still here, no? So, anong ibig sabihin nung makaka-deliver?
It's a lingo po sa PNP during that time na if you use the word deliver, ay mahuhuli mo yung malaking big fish. Nasa
Mahuhuli.
level 1, level 2 at sigurado po patay po.
In the case of Colonel Marcos, siya ba'y nag-volunteer?
Ang pagkakaalam ko po.
Siya nag-volunteer. O, sige.
Yes, sir.
Mamaya
Pagkakaalam ko lang po.
tatanungin natin siya. So, in order for us to understand fully kung ano yung konteksto nung sinasabing drug war, in the previous hearing, Chairman Acop has tasked the Director General of the BITEA, no, to help us understand ano ba itong drug list, ano ba itong narco list. And in that request by Congressman Acop, we put that into motion where during that time, it was unanimously approved by the committee. So, may we ask now, DPDEA, kung meron ba kayong pwedeng i-submit, ipakitang report dito sa committee ito?
Yes, Your Honor. We will show to you how the drug list came about. And this is very crucial in relation to the story of Ms. Garma.
So, in other words, DG, masusuportahan nyo yung sinasabi ni Colonel Garma?
As far as the making of the drug list, sir, is concerned.
Okay, will you
Yes, sir.
submit to us or are you going to make a presentation?
We will give you a copy, sir, but again, we ask for your indulgence. Please find time to look at it because we assure you that after we finish the presentation, you will understand how this list came about. And
Sige,
yes,
please.
sir, I would like to request our Director for Intelligence, Director Bitong, sir, to brief.
Okay. So with the indulgence of the members of the committee, we will allow the PIDEA to make this presentation or this report before the Quadcom. Please proceed.
Please bear with me, sir, as I try to read it so that I can deliver it crisply and clearly. This is based, we tried to be very faithful to the data that were made available to us. Next. So actually, sir, what I'm showing is the history of the PRRD's list. In several occasions, the former president showed lists and mentioned drug personalities in his public appearances. On August 7, 2016, he mentioned Mayor Mabilog along with 159 others. Next. In December 2016, the first president drug list, or popularly known as PRRD list or narco list, was obtained. On September 28, 2017, the second list was obtained. This was merged with the first list. The total personalities combined were now at 6,191. On October 19, 2017, during the technical working group meeting, the TWG included in the list the personalities mentioned by PRRD on August 7, 2016. Thus, the total 6,221. 30 out of 159 new personalities were added. The others also mentioned were already in the list. In March 2018, the third list with 6,623 was received. The first, second, and third list was combined, removing redundancies, resulting to a total of 6,562 personalities. During this period, series of intelligence workshops, the crafting of policies and guidelines, and remedied subcommittee meetings were conducted. It was on 28 May 2019 when the President's drug list was renamed Interagency Drug Information Database, or IDID. From May 14, 2021 to April 7, 2022, 3 remedied committee meetings were conducted. Out of 1,046 POIs adjudicated by the remedied committee, only 885 were approved. 600 POIs recommended for deletion, 249 for relegation to suspense file, and 36 for retention, and 153 POIs remain pending. This is the current IDID, the working database that is the product of Remedied from the first, second, and third list. Upon the assumption of PBBM, the committee members conducted several consultation meetings. A letter signed by current SILG as chairman, the former SILG, as chairman of Remedied Committee, proposing the dissolution of the Remedied guidelines and procedures was forwarded to the Office of the President on May 24, 2024. This is yet to be approved. Meanwhile, the different regional adjudication committees are continuously deliberating their IDID. In our effort to come up with a comprehensive study, PIDEA obtained the following e-copies as shown. When PIDEA was tasked to study the origin of PRRD list, PIDEA gathered versions from other sources as shown. First on the list is the new target list. It is the file name. It was recovered from old PIDEA files. The original list in August 2020 was acquired by the Director General of PIDEA on September 2024. The PRRD list pro-NIR was recovered by the Deputy Director General for Operation, ASEC Renato Gumban. And the IDID list is the working database maintained by PIDEA, processed from first, second, the PRRD pronouncement, and the third list. I will show you, sir, the details of the different lists. Going to the details, shown are the properties and contents of the different lists. Comparing the 5 Excel e-copies, we come up with the following results. New target list and original list are the same with 3,981 names. The August 2020 and PRRD list pro-NIR have minor differences. File name PRRD list pro-NIR has only 31 worksheets compared to August 2020 with 32 because it contains worksheet NIR. IDID, the official list of Remedied Committee, has a total of 6,276. Let me just note that Attorney Wesley A. Barayuga, the PCSO official killed on July 30, 2020, was included in August 2020 and PRRD list pro-NIR, but never in IDID. Going deeper, sir, you will note, sir, that the new target list is authored by PNP-CIDG, as well as the original list, PNP-CIDG. And the next, the August 2020, is authored by a certain Yanism, as well as PRRD list pro-NIR, while the IDID has no more author because this is a working database. Upon checking the properties of the same 5 Excel files, particularly the original list, it has the PNP-CIDG and Yanism as the authors, 4 of which were created last July 25, 2016, while the IDID was created last November 15, 2022, because, as I said, it is a working database and properties change every updating. The next slide. This is what we were talking about earlier. This slide shows notable differences among the lists. On the left is worksheet found in the new target list and original list. This contains 5 levels with description and a column for amount. On the right is worksheet found in file name August 2020 and PRRD list Pro NIR. These have only 4 levels with description and an evaluation. These do not have the amount column. In the IDID list, all these worksheets are not included. Next. This slide is a photo gallery of high-value target found in the list. On the left, the new target list, original list, and IDID list contain fewer photos than the one on the right with file name August 2020 and PRRD list Pro NIR. On the next slide, shows a photo gallery of alleged Binondo personalities found on the list. Just like the previous slide, the new target list, original list, and IDID list on the left contain fewer photos than the one on the right with file name August 2020 and PRRD list Pro NIR. In both lists, the apical personalities Jackson Lee and Wong Meng Pin are included. Our findings. There is indeed the President's drug list, commonly known as PRRD list. All 4 lists obtained were authored on July 25, 2016. File name, new target list, and original list are both authored by PNP CIDG. The file name PRRD, Pro NIR, and August 2020 have same author, Yanism. These were recently obtained and did not undergo official validation by the remedied. There are many inconsistencies and differences between the different lists. The counts of personalities vary. There are double or triple entries, many aliases, insufficient details. The top high-value target of personalities with some names on the picture gallery are not included in the list. There are also inconsistent recapitulation and numbering on the sheets. The 3 Chinese killed in Tapicol are included in the list. The original list contained the amount column. Mayor Mabilog was not included in the original list until October 19, 2017, 2 months after second list was received. And attorney Wesley Barayuga was included only in August 2020 and PRRD list Pro NIR, but never in IDID or the official list. That ends our briefing, sir.
Mr. Chair, can I have just some clarificatory question?
Please proceed.
Yeah, thank you very much. Just to the PDEA, nabanggit niyo po kanina, based on what I gather, it was a list that was having a lot of revisions from the time that it started, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So if it was being revised continuously, we were seeing deaths left and right since 2016 onwards.
Yes, Your Honor.
So how can we now say that those deaths and those operations were indeed validated through drug personalities? If the list itself that served as the basis of the PNP to implement was not validated, nor was it final in nature.
That was the predicament that we had while we were trying to analyze the lists, Your Honor, because we found out that, let us just take, for example, the first list or the original list. It was sent to PIDEA, it was studied by PIDEA, and when it was submitted back to the palace, that is what I understand, a second list would be given back to PIDEA. And it was observed that there would be names included in the list that was being sent back to PIDEA. So parang, ano sir, we checked on the list, we send it forward, we send it upwards for them to check on it, hoping that it wouldn't be, there would be no more names included, but it was the opposite. There would be names again that would be included. And so this continued until the third list. And
Mr.
so as
Chair.
not to miss anything, we already, so as not to miss anything, the lists were already combined with each other to come up with the August 2020 list, removing the names that were redundant, or maybe there were deaths already, so they were removed from the list already. So that
Yeah.
that was how the list evolved, Your Honor.
Do we have somebody from the CHR here, Mr. Chair? Do we have a representative from the CHR?
Yes, earlier they were here, but after the interview with the victims earlier, we allowed them to be excused for
Okay.
this
No, I just
particular-
wanted to know lang, Mr. Chair, kasi base sa sinabi ng PIDEA, it was around 2020 where, you know, a working draft that was actually validated was finalized, more or less, correct?
Your Honor, just to make a clarification, the file name is dated August 20, 2020. But as early as 2019, huh? Yeah, second. Yeah. The file name is only August 20, 2020, Your Honor, but as early as 2019, because after the NSC,
Yes, sir.
General Bitong will explain, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Actually, starting January 4 of 2016, sir, it already undergo a TWG deliberation. There is no remedy yet. It has
Mr.
not
Chair,
yet been
Mr. Chair.
approved.
Ano? January 2016?
No, sir. It's January 2017.
Oh, yun.
January 4, 2017.
So meaning, it was on July 1 that the former president assumed office. So it was not until the following year of the first month, January 2017, that this list was, how do you say it, processed, correct?
Sir, may I? Actually, sir, starting July 4 of 2016, 5 days after the assumption, the president started showing already and announcing, showing in public the president's list.
So what was the basis of that list?
We only got the official list on January 4 of 2017, the first list.
Colonel Patay, di ba tanong ko lang, di ba sabi nyo kanina na-assign kayo sa Davao
Del Norte po, Mr. Chair.
Tapos, pagkatapos ng assignment nyo doon, anong taon yon?
Until 2016 July, Mr. Chair.
Ha?
Until 2016 July.
Can you speak louder?
2016 July, Mr. Chair.
2016 July. Tapos in 2016 July, saan po kayo nailipat?
Dito po sa NCRPO Station 6 QCPD, Mr. Chair.
NCRPO Station 6. Nung kayo po ang naipwesto dito, gaano katagal po kayo naglingkod dito po sa NCRPO Station 6?
11 yata yun, Mr. Chair. 11 months from July to September, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Chair.
Doon po sa kabuuan nung 11 buwan, Maalala nyo po ba kung ilan ang drug operations ninyo na nagresulta sa pagkamatay ng suspect?
Hindi ko po bigay yung exact figure, Mr. Chair.
But more or less.
Hindi ko po ma-estimate. Last time, Mr. Chair, previous hearing, may guidance na po dito na ang listahan po ay I think that it was submitted yata dito sa committee na to, Mr. Chair.
Yes. Can you give me a ballpark figure?
I was not able to look at the report, Mr. Chair. I cannot give the figure, Mr. Chair. Baka magkamali po ako.
Chairman Paduano, maybe you can tell me.
Anyway, just to correct your statement, Colonel Patay, of course, baka nakalimutan mo na, you stayed in NCRPO, QC, station in Batasan.
Station 6.
Station 6 nga, pero QC. Diba?
QC,
Quezon
Mr.
City.
Chair. Yes, Mr.
You were assigned here in the NCRPO July 1.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And July 4, you were assigned as Station 6 Commander. Tama?
If the records...
Anyway,
Yes, sir, sir.
Anyway, yung transfer mo pabalik doon sa CIDG,
CIDG after my assignment dito sa Station 6, Mr.
correct.
Chair.
And that is September. So
Yes, Mr.
you stayed in Station 6 more than a year.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
More than a year.
More than-
Now, during the previous hearing sa Committee on Human Rights, as reported, the data shows that more than 100 was killed, which is drug-related operations.
Mr. Chair, I cannot confirm or deny that data.
And
Mr.
that is the
Chair.
data presented to us, not you, but the CHR.
Okay. Thank you very much, Congressman Paduano. So anyway, so Colonel Patay, doon sa panahon na inimplement niyo po itong madugong gera laban sa droga, sabi na nga po na mahigit 100 ng buhay na nasawi. Ano po ang pinagbasihan po ninyong listahan?
That was based on the reports from the BADAC, Mr. Chair, and intel reports coming from the intel of our unit, Mr. Chair.
Intel of the PNP.
There was already a list in the stations produced or stored coming from the BADAC, Mr. Chair, because during that time the barangay officials were very cooperative on that campaign, Mr. Chair.
So anyway, ang akin lang pong medyo dala ng konting, hindi naman konti kasi ang malaking pangamba, Mr. Chairman, is PDEA said that it was a working draft, this list that was used as basis to implement the drug war. And it was not until 2020 was an interagency task force was created to have still a processing draft of a list. And that was 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. That was 4 years after the assumption. How many lives were lost during that time? The question now is, doon sa mga namatay at inoperate, ilan doon ba talaga yung inosente at hindi dapat nasa listahan? Kasi yung mismong listahan na pinagbabasihan, hindi pa nga final in nature, Mr. Chair. So, siguro, Mr. Chair, one of my requests is for PDEA to give us this list and we can cross-match it to those individuals that were, how do you say it, unjustly lost their lives, and then we can see really the loopholes in the implementation of this drug war. That's my point, Mr. Chair. Maraming salamat.
Salamat, Congressman Suarez. So the next to interpolate is Congressman Dan Fernandez. You have 10 minutes.
Okay, salamat po. So we have invited yung sa PCSO, no. We are very sorry, no, na overturn tayo ng mga events, and even all other officers from PNP, sila Balindog, sila Villela, Crialdo. Maybe I'll just limit my question kay GM Rohina Garma, no? Kasi medyo ngayon lang namin na-receive yung affidavit. So meron lang akong gustong tanong dito Ma'am Rohina, no? But of course hindi naman po natin na stop, Mr. Chairman, yung sa PCSO dahil meron din po mga issues doon that need to be clarified, no? Ma'am Rohina, kasi dito sa sinabi mo rito that tinawagan ka ni former President Duterte 5 a.m. in the morning. And during that time that you were with him, kayo lang bang dalawa?
No, Mr.
Sinong kasama sa sasakyan?
Yeah, it's just the two of us, sir, Mr. Chair.
So, ikaw ang sumundo kay former President?
I have my vehicle kasi, so nag-drive ako papunta doon. And then sabi niya, sasakay na lang siya sa loob ng sasakyan.
So, you were driving the car?
Yes, sir.
And this is a usual thing for you to do with the former President when you were still the Chief of Police of Davao?
Hindi naman, Mr. Chair.
So, hindi siya regular na ginagawa nyo na sinusundo mo siya doon? Or, no? Kasi very unusual yung...
No, Mr. Chair, that was the first time.
First time to?
Pinapunta ako doon, yes.
At nagtaka ka rin dahil presidente na siya noon. President-elect na siya.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And this was May 2016. Hindi pa siya nag-oath.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And do you have some inkling on what you were going to talk about or wala naman?
Hindi ako nagtatanong kasi, Mr. Chair. I just complied with the instructions.
Bakit ka pinagkakatiwalaan ng former president? I was hindi naman confused, but suddenly parang nabibigla lang ako because you were denying your relationship with him, right? Even there are issues about you and the former president having a romantic relationship in accordance to what we have read doon sa mga issue that was tackled by Montulfo. You will be denying that you have a relationship with the former president?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
At yung pagtitiwala sa iyo, paano nag-start yung pagtitiwala? Kasi there must be something on it. That's the reason why he called you and he was with you. Ano yun?
Mr. Chair, kung titingnan mo kasi yung structure ng officer sa Davao City Police Office, I am the most senior female police officer. And then the first time that I reported also sa Davao City Police Office when he was the mayor and I was just a lieutenant during that time, it appears that I'm the first PNPA officer who was assigned in Davao City. I think it was his first time to encounter. I was only 23 years old during that time. So parang naging familiar din siya sa akin. And then when I work sa Davao City Police Office na mayor siya or naging vice mayor siya, perhaps siguro nakita niya rin yung how I work, Mr. Chair. Until eventually nung naging senior na po yung rank ko as an admin officer, I would attend mga conferences and I am the only female officer present in the room and I used to be the spokesperson of the station commanders because nahiya sila magtanong.
So in other words, matagal kayong matagal kayong nagkasama sa trabaho. It's all about work.
Yes, Mr.
Walang
Chair.
something that niligawan ka niya o naging
To some it would appear na parang nanligaw but for me it's just naman po just work, Mr.
Okay.
Chair.
Dito kasi may binabangkit ka, no? Yung, well, kanina na-mention na yun, yung 3 level, no? Yung patayan, tapos babayaran, tapos yung pondo doon sa plant operation. Kasi binanggit mo dito na mayroong pondo para sa plant operation. And the Congress is allotting funds for a Koplan. Meron tayong pondo sa Koplan eh.
Yes.
Why merong pang pondo na binibigay? Is this a separate fund aside from the co-plan that are being utilized by the station? Or it's all the same?
Yeah. Mr. Chair, in reality sa ground, wala naman talagang punto binibigay ang PNP sa Koplan. Yung mga Koplan lang na napupunduhan, national level yan kung meron man. But station level, pag magkandak ka ng mga simultaneous service of search warrant, ikokoplan mo yan because you need the support of other agencies, you will deploy agents, you need money, and you need to pay your agents. So, gagawa ka ng koplan, hindi po yan ina-approve ng PNP. So, ang ginagawa ng local police, they would go to the mayor and ask for funding ng koplan. Ganyan po ang normal na nangyayari po sa ground, Mr. Chair. Hindi po yung pupuntahan ng provincial office o na regional office.
So in other words, walang pondo na nilalaan sa bawat istasyon kapag nagkakaroon sila ng koplan. At the PNP or the yung mag-ooperate ng koplan have to source it out. No? So yun ang sinasabi mo. So sino si Muking? Kasi may sinabi ka dito si a certain Muking contacted you. Is he Muking Espino?
Parang Espina. Yeah, it's a staff po ni, ano po yan, sa City Hall, sa office po ni Sir Bongo during that time.
Staff to ni Senator Bongo?
Yes po, during that time.
Anong pangalan niya?
Actually, I forgot, Mr. Chair, but she's known with that name, Muking.
Yeah, and here, may...
Espina or Espino.
Espina.
Espina or Espino.
Anyway,
it can be verified anyway.
Siguro, Mr. Chairman, to give clarity, on this statement made by Rohina Garma, let's invite this Muking Espino, in the next hearing, no?
Okay.
And sige po, Mr. Chair.
Comsec, please take note and send invitation for our next Quadcom hearing.
Mr. Chairman,
And
I think that certain Muking is assigned during the time from Davao. Dinala po sa Malacanang. I think he's USEC dun sa PMS. Kindly check na lang, Comsec.
Would you know the complete and full name of
Ermina?
Booking? So we can check the records already. Comsec, please coordinate with the PMS and invite the name Muking.
And on number 12, binabanggit mo dito that you learned from Arthur Nasolis via phone that Leonardo had been summoned by the president and was instructed to proceed to Mandaya Hotel in Davao for a meeting. I think, Mr. Chairman, we need to really ask the PNP to look for Arthur Nasolis. What is the status of Arthur Nasolis with regards to this hearing, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, earlier we asked Colonel Cunanan, our liaison to the Philippine National Police, to coordinate with the new CIDG chief, General Torre, and help the committee locate SPO for Arthur Nasolis. He's very material in this investigation, and we need his testimony before this Quadcom. General Torre.
Mr. Chairman, was he cited in contempt already?
He was already cited in contempt, and there was an order for his arrest.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Number 14, Rohina, you declined the invitation of Leonardo to join the task force. Kasi dito sinasabi mo, nag-create ng task force. So you declined. Why?
I don't have experience kasi wide experience with regards to that, Mr. Chair. And during that time, there was an instruction and we had a meeting in Davao. The President, Leonardo, Bongo, and I was there. I was called. there was a plan actually that I will join the PMS to handle the police and military matters. So, hindi ako talaga pwede din doon. But eventually, hindi naman din natuloy lahat ang plano and hindi rin ako sumali as a staff sa Malacanang and hindi rin ako sumali po dun sa group. And then an order kasi was issued na rin sa akin to report sa CIDG after my schooling.
And what happened doon sa DPWH, you involve yung mga classmates mo, sila Bakay, Bilela, Grijaldo, Tuson, and Duenas.
Yes, Mr.
But
Chair.
there was no meeting at all in accordance with your...
Yes, sa amin po walang pumasok. Kwentuhan lang talagang ano po, sir. Separate room po kasi kami. So, kami-kami lang po ang nag-usap, magka-classmate po.
And in accordance with your affidavit, number 19, after the courtesy call, which happened in DPWH, Leonardo informed me that the structure of the intended task force would undergo changes. Ano yung changes na yun?
Nung una po kasi, yung ginawa pong parang structure is masyadong, what do you call this? Very structured po siya talaga na merong head, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, and maraming staff. So, ang nangyari po is na-change, naging simple na lang. Naging simple na meron ng in charge and then meron lang mag-handle ng mag-verify siguro, mag-document, and etc. So, hindi na siya tulad na may Luzon na task force, Visayas o Mindanao, which is
So, nakita mo yung
yun ang
structure na
plano.
yun? Nakita mo yung structure na yun?
Yung original structure, nakita ko po, sir, kasi nga ako po yung nag-arrange ng meeting para i-discuss. Pero yung second na simple na, parang wala nang structure kasi parang in addition to your function, parang ganyan na lang po nangyari sa IDG. Ito yung task mo, ito yung task mo, ito yung tasking mo.
Kasi we have received a structure that you have submitted to us.
That is how the flow looks lang po. It's a diagram but not the structure.
Hindi ito
na
ang
sasabihin
pinaka-structure.
mo. No, it's just a diagram how communication flows. Yes, Mr. Chair. It's just a communication flow actually.
Okay, from the top to the bottom level.
Yes, it would appear that
All right.
way.
So
It's not a
just
structure.
wanted to inform the body that we have received a diagram of how the money flows, no?
The communication
flows, and
yes. And it would appear also the money would come and maglabas
So we will
po.
go with that. No, we will go with that. So dito sa task force na to. Sige, go ahead.
With the intelligence of Chairman Dan, kasi ganito to po yun, pagkaintindi ko, si Colonel Leonardo proposes a task force.